the video here. Okay, so our strength athletes, like we said, you have to focus more on sleep than on food to get the nervous system to recover. So in podcast 225, we actually discuss all of that detail about how to worry about recovery, whether you should focus on sleep or on food. So too often, there's this dumb remark that you hear from people, and I maybe need to start editing the way I say some of this stuff, is but you'll hear people say like, oh, like, heavy lifting makes me fat. No, it doesn't. Exercise can't possibly make you fat. So I probably need to be nicer and not say dumb because it's just misinformed. Um, but you can't possibly get fat from exercise. That doesn't make any sense. So we get fat because we have excess calories. If I exercise in one way versus another way, the exercise itself does not make me fat. So if I do CrossFit or I do strongman or I do powerlifting or I do bodybuilding, the style of training I do doesn't make me fat. Training burns calories. Now, there are styles of training that burn less calories than other styles. And that means that maybe out of the normal food you have per day, if I do a training style that doesn't burn as many calories as what I was used to, and I didn't modify my food, I'm not using up as much of that food as normal. Therefore, I would have more sitting around to go towards either slowed down fat loss or actually kind of caloric gain. So what I mean by this is, say I'm doing CrossFit and I'm eating 3,000 calories a day, but I'm super duper freaking active. I'm burning a shit ton of calories. I'm up and moving around a lot. Then all of a sudden I still eat 3,000 calories a day, but I switch to powerlifting, which is a very low volume sport compared to CrossFit. All of a sudden I'm not burning as many calories as I used to. So now 3,000 might actually be a caloric surplus. Whereas when I did CrossFit, it was actually caloric maintenance. So now all of a sudden I would gain body fat, but it had nothing to do with powerlifting. It just had to do with the fact that I was eating more than I was burning. So the style of training you do can change the effect of a specific caloric intake amount based on less or more caloric usage. So lifting heavy or powerlifting does not make you fat. Just not adjusting your caloric intake to your activity level is what makes you fat. Okay? So, if you're a strength athlete, if you try to out-eat your recovery, if you say, man, I'm beat up and tired all the time, let me eat more food, you will gain fat. Whereas chances are, if you're tired and beat up all the time, you need to go to sleep. Okay, you need to take some naps. You need to get more sleep in rather than food. So, that's something to think of. Okay? Cool. So hopefully this was some good general information for cheat meals. Like I said, if you have specific questions, please reach out to us and I'll help answer. But in general, think of cheat meals, just think of earning them. Did I do a high activity? Am I adherent to my diet? Am I training hard? If I am, then I've probably earned a cheat meal. And again, a cheat meal, not a cheat day. And then the other thing is to enjoy the damn things. So if you're going to have them, don't feel remorseful. Don't have them, then regret them. But enjoy them. It's part of something, just like it's the part of a dieting cycle. It's just part of the process. Enjoy it. Enjoy the foods. If you're going to eat fun new foods, enjoy the damn things. Okay? If you want to do a cheat meal, just eating the same food as your diet, but just having more amounts, then that can be fine. That can be a good way to kind of curb guilt, or like we said, prevent cravings and hunger spikes and stuff like that. Cool. Okay? So, hopefully this was helpful, and I would say overwhelmingly for most people is make sure you look at your adherence to your diet first. So if you've noticed you're plateaued, don't start adding in cheat meals, okay? Make sure you look at your adherence first. Make sure you're doing a 90% adherence, and then strategically adding cheat meals at the right days, the right times, can then help you bust through plateaus as well, okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it gave you some good information. And like I said, if you want anything more specific, shoot us an email at brutalironGym@gmail.com. If you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. Also, if you like podcasts, please share it with family and friends. Please, 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 okay? So the more people we help, the happier the world will be. We can save people from a lot of their mistakes the more we share this information. So please, please, please. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. This podcast is for you, so we know what you want to learn about. And you can tell us at our email at brutaliron@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.